Hi guys, welcome back to today's video on how to make staff your first time if you want to make it your first time. Which you should if you want to stay in and make more money, but to be real, it's not even that much. Don't let them lie to you guys, okay? So as soon as you find out that you are going to be eligible to promote or to test or E5 staff sergeant rank, you need to start studying. Don't be a last minute studier and think you just got it, because when you go in that room, that test is not going to look like anything you think it's going to look like. Before I even move into the studying portion, we have to talk about your EPR. So there's a lot of people in the Air Force who think just because you get a promotion statement, promote now, must promote, you're going to make staff. That's not true. Like, your studying habits do tie into that. And don't think because you do the bare minimum, you're going to get a promotion statement, because that's not true also. So this kind of ties back into making my BTZ video where I said that you have to do your job. You have to, if you want to get scored all the way to the right, do what you have to do, but don't let anybody tell you when to do your job. And if they have to tell you how to do your job, you should know how to do your job. So just know that takes a big consideration. But let's say if, you don't get a promotion statement, it is still possible to make it your first time. That's why I say your studying techniques plays a huge part into this. Like, don't only go off of your promotion statement, whether you get a promote now or you don't. You need to study. A lot of people find out if you make the cutoff, I want to say almost a whole year before you're about to test. So what you want to do is make sure you go into, I don't even know where your freaking CDCs are right now. It used to be in ADLS, but now they switched it to My Learning. I'm not too sure where to find them as your supervisor, but you want to print out a whole new set. Make sure it's the most updated CDCs that you have. You want to start completely over, fresh, clean. So what I did is I actually went to the BX and got this binder. I also went out and got these little post-it tabs. And as you can see, I kind of tabbed it in there. I did from volume. So for material management, we have 4 volumes. So I separated it like that. And then I also separated it by the UREs and the multiple choice questions as well. So I'm just going to show you my CDCs real quick. And my supervisor from a long time ago taught me this technique where you're going to go through your CDCs. So the URE answers highlighted in blue. And then the multiple choice ones you will highlight in yellow. And then if it overlaps and make green, that means it's really important. Not saying to only study those parts. Read through the whole entire thing. Because when I took my test, there was some stuff on there that I was just like I read it. I memorized this freaking CDC book. But there was some stuff in there where I was just like, I could have touched on a little bit more, and it was not highlighted or anything. It was just like it felt like little small print somewhere. But make sure you read all your CDCs, take notes, make flashcards. So the UREs, the self-test questions, that's what they're called. You want to make sure you re-answer everything. You want to start from the first page, you're reading, and then by the time you get to the self-part question page, you want to be like, hey, I remember that. That's how it should be. Because I kid you, 9 times out of 10, the first time you did your CDCs, you was probably just filling it in. And a lot of people do open book tests and was just like, I passed. No, read these. And then just like the self-test questions, you want to make sure you read, bubble in, and actually read the multiple choice ones. A lot of times the multiple choice questions already have the answer in them. So just kind of put 2 and 2 together, and you should be able to figure out the answer. So how I did the CDCs is I kind of broke it up into sections. So I made sure I was comfortable enough to finish volume 1. I understood volume 1 before I went to the next one, and so on. And then there is a site online called CDC Mastery. A lot of UTMs, unit training managers, say not to go on those websites, but they help. And that's what I used also to study. It has all the questions that it would usually have in your CDCs, and then you can take volume 1 test, 2, 3, 4, how many ever you have, and then it should have a combined one for your FSC, and you can take it as many times as you want. It has generated flashcards on there. I am going to have it on the screen somewhere right here, and then everything that I'm talking about today is also going to be linked down below. So the next thing is the PDG part, and that's where it talks about leadership qualities, Air Force history, supervisor, everything, and that's such right there. So I bought this book on Amazon. It is the Airman Handbook. You can buy it on Amazon, I want to say. I don't know if there's other sites that are cheaper, but I want to say this one was $20. Also, the link down below. So this is a big book. I got this book because I had watched previous videos before and they were really mentioning this book. I'm not a reader. Like the CDCs I had to read, but I struggled through it. This book has so much information. It has the Air Force doctrine, emergency management, organization, enlisted history, everything. But what I did was went on Macmillan online, Macmillan study guides, and I bought the $99, or I think it's $100 PDG Gold and CDC Gold advisory. You do not have to do that, but if you know you cannot, if you're not going to be able to focus and read through the book, do that route. So I'm just going to flip this camera around and then show you basically what it looks like before you want to purchase that. Okay, so right when you go onto Macmillan Study Guide, you can create an account before you even buy anything. So it will show your name once right there. And then this is the CDC Advisor, and then the AF Advisor Plus. This is for the PDG part. So first I'm just going to go into the CDC part really quick. And then this was so old because this was from last year. So I'm just going to pick a date and then close it. So let's just say your date is August or May 31st, 2022. So it'll just show you how many study hours until test day and then how many hours you studied. And then you can kind of customize it and say you want to study 3 times out of the week. It doesn't matter. And then it says study modes. They have self-test questions, unit review exercises, which is the UREs I was talking about, final exams, and then grades. So I'm going to close this really quick. And then I'm just going to say keep studying. So this is my volume 1 right here. And then there's 3 or 4 units in volume 1, 3, 3, and then a lot right here. And then the stars are you master it, completed, in progress, unseen, suggested, la la la. And these are the self-test questions right there. Those were the ones I said you had to write it in. Your final exam, like where you scored. You can do up to 800 questions. They have games. Let's just do a self-test question. Study now. And then this is what it will look like here, right here. And either you can, write down these questions on paper, or write down the answer on paper, or you can do show answer. So let me go back and let's do the UREs. And then whatever in your CDCs is basically what it shows right here. And then you can be able to select A, B, or C, D, close, cool. And it also has a WAPS calculator at the top. And you can input if you have any decorations or something like that. It will also have the scores that are needed for cutoff. Your UTM should be able to send you that. And then this is where you can put in for your EPR. Okay, so going for the study guides for the PDG part. There's a gold and then there's a plus. There is really no difference between the two, but it's all included in the package right here. So I'm just going to go to advisor since I already have that one downloaded, and then click right there. So there's different options. There is a guide me, so it can help guide you through the course. You can take an assessment or try a lesson. Knowledge room, you can dig deeper into the materials. So this is what I did right here. I literally clicked through each one and took the test multiple times until I memorized them. I made sure I kind of understood the questions on here. And there is a lot of sections. Like I said, that's why that book is so big, because there's so many sections on there. You can do Q&As. You can do practice questions up to 800 also, and then test me now. And like I said, that also goes up to 100 questions. So like I said, that is completely up to you on if you want to buy that Macmillan $99 bundle or $100 bundle, whatever one it is. Or you can get the book. You can highlight through the book. It's just the same thing. It just depends. Me, I work better with taking a test and keep taking it over and over and over and over again until I memorize that baby. And like I said, the games kind of make it fun, so it's not like you're just reading and it's boring. Trust me, it's boring. But I do recommend starting a whole year before you test. Even if you might think you're not eligible to test and you didn't make that cutoff, or study anyways. It's going to help you in the long run. Just a full disclaimer, I didn't take that year to study. I found out I was testing 2 months before my actual date, and this was during the quarantine when the Rona was fresh. So I think I found out in April or May. I got my EPR promotion statement back, and then I tested June, like the June 1st. I was like the first group to test then on our base, and I flew through those CDCs because that was where I needed a huge refresher. And then the last week, right before my test, I did the PDG portion. I do not recommend that because when I walked in there, it was not what I thought it was. And everybody comes out and they're just like, what was that? And I had went back to work the same day, and my supervisor was like, oh, how'd you do? And I was like, I didn't make it. Like, I failed. Some of the questions were in answer form. I don't know. It was so weird. It was basically like you have 4 different colors of black or shades of black. Which black is right type thing. Like, there was no wrong answers, but it was a wrong answer in there. It's like they wanted the most correct answer. And then for the PG part, I didn't know that they throw in like 4 questions. Like when you are a supervisor and you have airmen below you and they got in trouble for X, Y, and Z, what is the approach you would take type thing. And I don't really think if that was this question is right, this answer was right, this answer was wrong. I think it was just trying to see like who would pick what in the situation. You can totally study, however much before your test. I memorize things a lot faster than others, and that's completely fine. Don't think like let's say you do pass, don't let people try to be like, oh, you barely made it. You made it. Like, don't let anybody try to bring you down and try to degrade you from that. You made the score you did as long as you pass, right? That's what they say about CDCs. You can pass by 1 point, but you're in there. Don't let that test set the tone for how you're going to be when you put on that rank. And then when you do make that rank, share your knowledge with others. There's a lot of stingy people in the Air Force. Stop being stingy. Like, you're doing good, share the good with the other people, because we all want to grow. Especially if you want to stay in, share the knowledge. It's not going to hurt anybody. We're all making the same pay at the end of the day. Well, some of us making the same pay. But don't be stingy. Help other people. Because I'm going to share everything I have, because whether I stay in and re-enlist another 4 years or get out, me helping somebody is really not going to hurt me at the end. So if there is any questions or anything that you did not see in this video that you feel like you still might need some additional help with or an answer with, that probably didn't make sense. But if there's anything in this video that you felt like you still wanted to ask me, you can comment down below, comment wherever, I don't care. But that is really all I had for this video. It's really short and simple, like I said, but the big things before I even close this out, like I said, whether you get a promotion statement or not on your EPR, study. Make sure you have enough time to study your CDCs and enough time to study your PDG equally. Do not overwhelm yourself. Take it slow. That's why I said you want to start a year before. So about the time you come to the test, you can walk in there comfortably and be like, I got this. And that's the attitude you should have when you're about to go in there and get that rank. So thank you guys for watching. I always say I don't know what I'm going to do next when it comes to videos, but just know the videos are coming. All right, guys. And that's it.